Alright, so welcome back to another one of my review videos. For those of you who have subscribed and support this channel, I appreciate it, and thank you for your support. If you are new to my channel, I hope you will subscribe and give this video a like. Help me grow this channel so I can continue to bring you more product reviews, unapologetic, technical, and brutally honest. So today is going to be a pretty cool review because I'm going to review a whole range of ammo brands. Now, a lot of people ask, what kind of ammo should I buy for my 9mm or my 380? And I'm going to try to give you a lot of good insight into making a purchase decision and getting the right kind of ammo for you. This is all 9mm ammo, all FMJ except for the Sig hollow points. And however, I've shot every one of these brands with the exception of a couple in 380. So I'll be able to give you a little bit of a lot of insight on that from the experience I've had putting that through a Glock 42 and a Sig P38. Additionally, of course, my main pistols, Springfield Hellcat, Glock 43X, and the Glock 43, and then the Sig P238. So I'll give you an idea about how the ammo performs in various pistols. Now, there are a couple of factors that I want you to take into account in doing this review, because there's some things that are just really difficult to quantify, to gauge. For example, you're talking about accuracy. Unless you've got your pistol on some kind of mechanism, some kind of device that holds it right and straight point at the target, and you can switch out magazines and stuff. I mean, you're not going to get a real credible gauge of accuracy, okay? Maybe some exceptions. For example, like sharpshooters who are real expert marksmen who, consistently shooting a very small diameter, they'd probably be an exception to that. But the reason I mention accuracy as a factor is because it happens to be something I ran into with one of these, and I was quite surprised, but that's something I'll talk about a little bit later. Also, cleanliness. Now, cleanliness or dirtiness of the cartridge is pretty easy to see, because your pistol gets dirty, especially if you've got one of these, FD, polymer grips or frames that are like brown or different, or gray or different color. You're going to get a lot of black powder all over them. It's going to discolor it. You got to clean it off and stuff. Over time, it gets a little bit harder to get rid of the stain, but it doesn't make a difference. Nevertheless, for example, Glock 43X, they have these orange followers, and whenever you shoot some dirty ammo, those orange followers they get covered in black powder real quick. So of course you want clean ammo, but does it really matter? Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Price is another factor, of course, big factor, really important, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I'll be able to help you out, I think, in some different ways as far as price. And then also is consistency, reliability. How consistent is the ammo? How reliable is it? Now, another thing is a lot of these ammo reviews don't offer some of the information I wanted to know when I was looking around and doing my research for what ammo I should get, or what would be the best ammo, or things like that. So I'm going to offer you that information, but there's a lot of things that I haven't seen anybody really consider. There are some other factors that contribute to to a decision about how an ammo stacks, how one brand of ammo stacks up to another. Okay, now keep in mind, some of these companies may make a really great ammo, but might have one product line that's not very good. I can't say that the company itself sucks or anything like that, but I'll tell you what I think about the particular ammos that I've tried. There's some that aren't at this table. You'll see some Remington and Winchester ammo that I haven't, that I don't have the boxes for right now, and a couple of others. And there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that later. So anyway, without further delay, let me go ahead and get started on this review. Actually, let me throw one thing real quick. I hope that you'll check back with my channel soon. In the upcoming weeks, I've got a really big, important Second Amendment video that you really need to watch. I hope that you'll subscribe and check in later and watch this video, because we've got a big impending crisis on our Second Amendment freedoms. And you'll be surprised at who's causing this problem. I think it's something that's not being talked about. There are a lot of people who won't even touch the issue, but action needs to be taken, because our constitutional rights, our Second Amendment liberties, are under imminent threat. So check back again soon, and I hope you'll watch that video and share it as much as you can. So without further delay, let me go ahead and get into the ammo review. I'll kind of start off with the one I dislike the most. And there's a reason for that, but let me just go ahead and get into it. This Adrenaline Buffalo Cartridge Company Adrenaline Precision Series. This is kind of the mid-price ammo. So basically, you look at the Blazer, and you're about $18 to $20, depending on if you get aluminum or brass casing, right? Then you got the mid-tier kind of ammo, which is about $24, $25, and then you got the higher priced ammo, which is $32, $34, somewhere around there. This is about $26, so it's kind of this is the mid-tier price. But I tell you, there's one thing about this ammo that I noticed right away. Probably after about 20, 25 rounds, I was starting to become pretty sure that there was something wrong with this ammo. Now, by the way, all of this ammo, much of this, the Sig ammo, maybe not so much the Sig, but the Federal, the Remington, Winchester, Blazer, Herters. I've shot hundreds and hundreds of rounds of these. Also not included in here is Monarch and MagTech. I've used those for decades. And Aguila. So I've shot hundreds of rounds, but some of the more obscure ammo in my ammo case is I've shot at least 100 to 150 rounds at least to do the review. I think that's I think at least 100 rounds is a fair enough gauge of how good or how well the ammo performs, right? So anyway, back to this one here. As I said, I don't like to talk about accuracy necessarily as a factor, but this particular ammo was just, I mean, it was just all over the place. Now, I'm pretty consistent. I'm not a marksman. I'm not ex-military or ex-law enforcement or anything like that. But I have a pretty consistent shooting diameter. Yeah, it's not. I'm good enough to know that there's, you know, something really wrong. And I noticed that with this ammo. It was, and this is the only ammo I've had any kind of accuracy issues. Has been this one right here. And I thought, well, you know, maybe it was like a bad batch or something. Maybe it just, maybe it was that one box, you know. And I really had to kind of grind my teeth and buy another box, which I thought was way overpriced for the quality. And I thought, okay, let me at least try one more, another 50 rounds. Let me see how it performs, you know. And sure enough, I mean, now when I compare these ammos, I'll go with something I'm really comfortable with, that I am really familiar with, like the Federal or the Blazer or the Winchester or the Remington. Something I've used for a long time that I'm really familiar with. And I'll usually go like 10 rounds. So all my magazines here hold 10 rounds, right? So I'll go 10 rounds back and forth between, say, the Blazer and then this one. And then for another reference, I'll try the Glock 43, 10 rounds with that 10 round. And then I'll go to the Federal, 10 rounds, and I'll stagger it for a while. So I do that over and over with something as a baseline that I can reference really, you know, solid in my mind, that I'm real comfortable and familiar with. So anyway, yeah, this is, it was just, there was no consistency in the accuracy here. They were just all over the place. I was really amazed that, you know, that this ammo for $26, actually I think it was like $26.95, you know. I'm really amazed how crappy it was, to be honest with you. I mean, I was really disappointing, and I felt kind of cheated, to be honest with you, because you know, I got to pay $7, $8 more. I could have bought some Blazer aluminum or Blazer brass, saved a nice little chunk of change, you know. But to get this kind of quality at, you know, kind of an upper mid-tier price, it's really pretty disappointing. I would like to kind of give this one more shot, just another 50 rounds, just to see if I feel the same way. But you know what? I'm not going to pay what is pretty much premium price for this here. You know, I mean, it's nowhere near the kind of quality. Now, I've used some cheap ammo, the Monarch steel cased ammo, the MagTech ammo. You know, to me, MagTech's kind of the lowest, you know, kind of the very low end, but it's always been affordable and fairly good. It's not bad ammo, I don't think necessarily. It's just not good, in my opinion. Okay, I'm no expert, but you know, that's what I think. This is worse. It's way worse. Never had such issues with MagTech. Every now and then I'll get a little disappointment from it, but this was just round after round sucked, and it's a dirty ammo. It's not real clean either. So I don't know anything about this company, you know. Some of this ammo I don't see very often, and when I see it, I like to try and pick up something new and try it out. Maybe the company makes generally good ammo, but this line right here sucks. I don't know, you know, but I'm not going to pay the premium to buy this again just to see if I'm going to feel the same way. I have no doubt of what my assessment was on this, so I recommend against this ammo here, and that's pretty rare for me because when we finish this review, you'll see where I stand on all of this ammo. And I think, for me to say that I recommend against something or that I just don't like it, let me rephrase that. Actually, maybe I shouldn't recommend against it. I just dislike that ammo. I think it sucks, my opinion. Anyway, moving on. Next ammo I'd like to talk about is this Ozkursan right at the bottom here. 124 grain 9mm ammo. Now, when I shot this Ozkursan, I went with the Browning 124 grain. Both FMJ, very similar. I'm very familiar with the Browning. I've shot several boxes of these. Never tried the Ozkursan before. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. Now, funny thing is, when I went to, when I was looking at this box of ammo, somebody came up to me and said, that ammo sucks. And I was like, oh, really? Why? But he couldn't give me any specific answer or really any valid reason, just kind of a it sucks kind of comment, it's no good. So because of that, I went ahead and tried it anyway, naturally. Because, I mean, had he given me a good specific reason or something that sounded, something that sounded like it made sense, I probably would have said, hey, I don't want to waste my money, but hey, I decided to give it a try anyway. Now, this is less than this adrenaline garbage. This is, I think, about 23 or 24 bucks, this Ozkursan. I'm going to call it Ozkursan. I have no idea how you pronounce it. But I've read some reviews, and there are a couple of things that are not so great about it, right? Here's my assessment. There were two things about this particular Ozkursan 124 grain. One thing was odd. I hadn't run into before. Now, I'll tell you one thing, just to explain how I came to this conclusion. Now, my Sig P365, this is a feat of engineering design right here. I mean, look at this tiny little micro 9mm, 10 rounds in the stock magazines. I mean, incredible. And why is it so incredible is not only just that they were able to make a 9mm so tiny, yet so comfortable in your hand, and has such a smooth trigger, and it shoots so smooth. This pistol is amazing. More than any other pistol I own, except the Glock 42. This is such a smooth shooting pistol. I mean, it just 147. I've shot 115, 124, 147 grain. It doesn't matter. I don't get a whole lot of kick. It just kind of, and then it just sits right down. It shoots very smoothly. So, for me to notice something on this here, let me back one step up. In addition to that, I find that this pistol, this 365, is more forgiving than the Glock 43 and the Hellcat. My experience. That's my opinion. Now the Hellcat, for example, this is probably my most unforgiving pistol of the three. Has nothing to do with the design or anything, the weight or nothing. This is a brilliant little pistol right here. This little bitty Hellcat, slightly bigger than the 365. It is more unforgiving than my P365. So when I'm shooting, I really gotta focus. A little more. I've got to concentrate a little bit harder, and it won't forgive me so much in any inconsistency in my grip or a little bit of shaking or anything like that. I cannot shoot as accurately with this if I don't try a little bit harder. I can't shoot exactly. Let me rephrase it. I can't shoot necessarily as accurately with this one as I can with the P365 without giving a little bit of extra effort. Glock 43 is similar. It's a little bit less forgiving than the P365. So to me, the Glock gives a lot of feedback, and that's why it's a really great. This is a fantastic pistol to try different ammos on too, by the way, because let me go ahead and just go ahead and demonstrate it here, right? You hear that very audible, very loud feedback. It gives you physical feedback and audible feedback. You pull that trigger, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna click real loud. And it's gonna reverberate throughout the frame. And then watch this. You know, of course, trigger reset. You hear that? Pretty loud, audible. You can feel it. This blade they have right there. It's just the way that the weight's distributed on this, the way that it kind of kicks and sets back when you shoot it. I mean, just all the little factors together, you know, and totality. You know, I believe that these Glocks have a really good audible and physical feedback whenever you're shooting ammo. So I like this to try ammos on. All right. So having said that, having explained that, the reason why it's important is because if I notice something on my P365, which is the most forgiving of them, right, then I know that it's going to be significant enough to be a factor, right? So then I'll go from that over to my Hellcat, which is less forgiving. And if the effect is a bit exaggerated, then I know I've just confirmed what I noticed on my P365. Now, back to the Ozkursan ammo here, or whatever you call it. Two things about this ammo that I noticed. One is it has noticeably more kick to it. I mean, the first time I shot, I was like, whew, and I felt a little bit of difference, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it was anything. I mean, we're talking subtle differences, right? But it was noticeable enough where you're like, oh man, that's, you know, powerful ammo. That was one thing. The second thing is that it's a dirtier ammo, but you see, but it's visually you'll see more sparks and more smoke from this ammo. So it shoots a little dirtier. And I'm telling you, I've got one of my favorites is this Federal 124 grain. I don't know why. I don't think this is particularly such a great, you know, ammo per se, right? But for whatever reason, I just kind of gravitate to this Federal 124 grain. Not really sure, but I also like this Browning 124 grain. So I go back and forth with this Ozkursan here. And sure enough, I mean, it, you know, round after round, 100 rounds later, it has more kick, some more explosive kind of ammo. And there's more sparks and more smoke coming out of the pistol with that. So other than that, it defies anything bad I've heard or read about it. It's consistent, no accuracy issues like this one. I mean, it's just a good ammo as far as I can tell. You know, I've shot 2 boxes, 100 rounds of it, and as far as I can tell, it's a good ammo. So I have nothing bad to say about it. I don't mind the extra kick. It's just that it was noticeable. I don't really care because about the extra spark or smoke really necessarily. I mean, it doesn't irritate my eyes or anything like that. Some people are more sensitive maybe, but you know, I clean my pistols every time I get back from the range anyway. I mean, it doesn't. It's not a real factor for me, but it is something noticeable. So mid-price ammo, pretty good as far as I can tell. You know, given those two factors, which I don't think are negative factors really, just characteristic of this particular ammo. So this Ozkursan stuff is a pretty good ammo as far as I can tell, right? So next ammo I'll tell you about is this Fiocchi. Now, this is the range dynamics. It's not the one you see most commonly. The most common one is the other blue box that I think I've shot before, and I think that that's the most common everybody usually talks about, or you see that you'll see online when you go buy ammo. This range dynamics I don't see very often ever, so when I see it I like to pick it up. This is kind of expensive. It's more in the $27 range, $28 maybe. So it's a little bit, at the higher, it's definitely in the higher end price. Now, between this and the other more common one, which I don't have here, but I've shot plenty of that to know, between this and the other one, no difference. There's nothing noticeable between the two that I could say this one's better than the other. The other one's actually a little bit more expensive than this one. Go figure. Not really sure why it costs more, because as far as I'm concerned, after about probably 200 rounds of the other one and 100 rounds of this one, I think I have a good enough comparison. I tell you that this is a pretty clean and pretty consistent ammo. It's a good ammo. This Fiocchi range dynamics. It's a good ammo, and no less in any way that, as far as I can tell, it is not inferior in any way to the more common, more popular, and the little bit more expensive one. So, I'll leave it at that. The next ammo I want to talk about, well, let me just say this. I'm not the kind of person who has like a favorite of anything, really. I don't really pick favorites of anything. I have things that are among my favorites, but I don't really have a lot like, this is my favorite thing, or this is my favorite color, So having said that, I can't really say I got a favorite ammo. There are some here that are among my favorites that I just love to use. I think are great, and they're great price point. I can find them, so I'll buy them, right? But if I say there's a little bit, give it a little bit more likability, it will be this one here. Again, I don't know how you pronounce it. Sellier Bellot. Not really sure. Now, I've shot this both in 380 and 9mm. This is more expensive. It's usually about 28 to 30 bucks, I believe. I love this ammo. It's great. This is definitely upper echelon ammo in my opinion. It's very clean. It's very smooth shooting, very consistent. I mean, really great. I think I've shot maybe about 350 rounds of this brand, both in 380 and 9mm, right? And I really like this ammo. It's, to be honest with you, if this ammo were a similar price to the Federal or the Blazer, I'd buy it. I'd buy it most often. I just like it. I don't know why necessarily. I can't really nail down what it is particularly, except that it's just a really good, smooth, clean shooting experience. Very consistent. This is a really top notch. Now, there's also one little advantage to this too, as well. As you can see here, I got this ammo box. I made this dovetail ammo box right out of some scrap alder. I like to keep my ammo in here, and the bottom is kind of waterproofed, where if you were to spill liquid in it, it won't come out of the bottom. But of course, if it's submerged, water will get in around this part. But nevertheless, it has some resistance to the atmosphere around it. So it's always a good idea to keep your ammo in a, not just these little cardboard boxes, but in a container, especially to keep it for a long time. So anyway, whatever ammo container that you use, you know, there's always one factor: the space. Obviously, look at that, 50 rounds, 50 rounds. Look at that, huh? 50 rounds, 50 rounds. I mean, this is a little bitty box. You got more space, more of these you can fit inside your ammo container. So just a small advantage anyway, kind of a little bonus or something with this brand. I really like this. I can't say it's my favorite per se, but I really like this ammo. Now, next ammo I want to talk about is the Sig ammo. Now, the Sig ammo is it's pretty pricey. It's about $27 for this 365 ammo. I paid about 32 or 34 for the hollow points. Now, I've used some variations, and I've shot the 380 ammo in Sig. Very good. Top-notch ammo. It's high quality. It's just expensive. And as much as I like Sig, you know, and as much as I like their ammo, I just don't see anything that's so special about it that I got to choose it over a Blazer or Federal or this Aguila or Winchester or Remington, because, you know, even this one here, I just don't think it's such a great ammo that you know, to me is worth the extra price difference. So just be honest with you, you know. Now, when it comes to hollow points, as far as I know, the price on these hollow points have just skyrocketed. I mean, I bought this for $32. Next thing you know, I go online and look, and they're $50 for a 50-round box of these hollow points. How on earth did it go just from a month ago from $32 to $50? I mean, I got to be honest with you, and you know, I'm no fool, and I know how these companies work because I've worked for a lot of these companies, not ammo companies, but I've worked for a lot of companies, and know how they work internally and their finance and all that. And I tell you this, some of these ammo manufacturers just jack up prices, and there's no supply chain issue or anything that's making the prices jump that much. They just, as long as people keep buying it, they're going to keep jacking up the prices. I mean, that's why it's at a premium. I really don't like the fact, it really is very disappointing that Sig would jump the price $32 to $50, $1 a round. Sorry, it's just not. Now, before Sig jacked up their price so crazily, this was my favorite hollow point ammo, defensive ammo. Why is defensive ammo important? I really don't have a particular care for defensive ammo. Nevertheless, there could be some liability issues if you use FMJ ammo outside your house. I mean, you know, I think, no, I'm no ballistics expert or gunsmith or anything like that. But as far as I know, from the research I've done, and I haven't done a lot of research, but, you know, unless, and correct me if I'm wrong, but unless it's like, and when we're talking about 380 or 9mm, right? Unless it's like a 9mm 147 grain, and it's just got that extra velocity or whatever, the round really isn't going to break up as much as you would expect it to. At least that's my understanding of it, my takeaway from what I've gathered. Kind of the same thing with the 380. For whatever reason, even like 95 or 100 grain, unless it's like 100 grain 380, the breakup isn't really going to, you know, it's not going to split a whole lot. So, nevertheless, I have seen instances where, or I've heard about instances where, using non-defensive ammo, especially if you're licensed in some capacity and you use defensive ammo out in public or, outside of your home, where, the bullet doesn't break up, but kind of like just travels right through to to whatever's behind the target, in any case. So it is important to have some defensive ammo. So I'll keep a box of 50 just so I can keep my carry pistol loaded. But this is no longer a good value, so now I'm kind of sticking to the Winchester ammo because it's good hollow point ammo and it's not really expensive. So shame on Sig for jacking that price up so much. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact I was buying these here for 32 bucks. Now they're 50 bucks, go figure. And this was just, we're talking like a month or a month and a half ago. Now, so Sig ammo is good, just pricey. I personally don't think it's so great that I'm going to spend $1 or $2 more even than the Federal or something else. So let me move on to another ammo. Let's talk about this Aguila ammo. I've shot a lot of this. This ammo is pretty readily available. I don't normally find this as much as I find the Blazer or the Federal, or the Remington or the Winchester, but it's fairly common ammo, and it's a similar price point to the Federal. This is a good ammo, okay? It shoots well. The only thing about this Aguila ammo, and I've shot it in 380 and I've shot it in 9mm. The only thing about this is that it's a little bit dirty. Now, it doesn't have noticeably more spark and smoke, just out of it as the Ozkursan does. But it is dirtier than, what I would get with the Remington or the Winchester, or especially this here, or, any of the others. So, but it's a good ammo and it's a good value. So, you can't go wrong with this Aguila stuff. Not really a whole lot to add to it. It's just a good ammo, and it's a good fair price point. So let me go ahead and talk about the ones I use most often because of price, really. Blazer is probably the best value because, it's not the greatest ammo out there, but it's consistent, it's reliable, and they offer the aluminum. Now, I think Remington offers the aluminum. I've shot just about every Remington and Winchester branded ammo, and also the Blazer makes aluminum, and also the Federal makes aluminum, which I think also comes in kind of a generic white box, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there's not really a whole lot to say on the Blazer. It's a good ammo, and I can find it readily available most of the time, and it's never let me down. It's a good price point, and I can save a couple of bucks with the aluminum. So let me talk a little bit about aluminum ammo. Now, I've heard some negative things about it. There's some gun ranges that won't let you bring aluminum ammo in there. I have no idea why, except that maybe they just want something that they can make money on, reloading. So they only want the brass. They don't want to sort through different alloys or whatever. In my experience, the aluminum ammo has been outstanding. Great ammo. I haven't had a single misfeed or failure to rack or ejection, casing ejection issue. Nothing. This aluminum ammo has been outstanding. I really love it. Plus, there's a little bit of an advantage to aluminum ammo. Now, this Glock 43 is a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger than this 43X, Then the 43. My 43 was very comfortable to carry around. This is a little bit bulkier. Yes, the handle does kind of make it a difference. I like to carry mine here, but if I'm walking around, it does kind of brush against my forearm or stick out a little bit more. And I also like to carry it here. So, in any case, there's a little bit of weight to it. Even the 43, when you load the mag, well, aluminum ammo is a little bit lighter. So overall, it does make a bit of difference in the weight. So when you have something like the Hellcat, this is a little bitty pistol, but it holds 13 rounds. 13 rounds is a significant addition to the weight of this pistol. So if you use aluminum ammo, it's a little more comfortable to carry around. It's not as heavy. Definitely, you will notice a difference between the aluminum and the brass. Anyway, so that's what I have to say about the Blazer. Same kind of thing with the Federal. Federal is just a good ammunition. It's a little bit more than the Blazer. I think this goes for about $21.99. You find the Blazer. This is about $22. This is about $20. Aluminum is about $18. Federal's good. It's kind of my go-to ammo. Now, like I said, I really like this 124 grain. Lately, well, the Blazer's 124 grain is fantastic. I like this Browning 124 grain. Maybe it's 124 grain that I kind of gravitate to then. I'm not really sure, but this Federal stuff is very good. Haven't had any issues with it at all. There's nothing really outstanding about this as a Blazer, but there's absolutely nothing negative in those. They're good ammo, and I can't say that they shoot dirty or that they're inconsistent in any way. They're good ammo, and then the price is fair. Blazer's probably a little bit better price, but the Federal, you're getting a good quality for $22. Now, this is the American Eagle, but they also have the Premium, and I don't have it with me right here, but I've shot a lot of the Premium. I go back and forth because sometimes the American Eagle's available, sometimes the Premium's available. Price is very similar. Actually, I always used to pay $19.99 for the American Eagle, but then this last couple of months, the price actually flipped because the Premium was $21.99. American Eagle was $19.99. Now the American Eagle's $21.99 and the Premium's $19.99. Go figure. I think the store plays with the price or something because maybe people start buying this American Eagle. Maybe somebody, gets 100,000 views on their YouTube video and people say, hey, I'm going to go try this Federal American Eagle. And the next thing you know, the stores are selling it and they say, hey, let's jack up the price because people are starting to buy it. Maybe, I think it's something like that because nevertheless, the Premium and the American Eagle, I can't tell a difference. I can't tell a difference between the two. I can't say that one is better than the other. I haven't noticed anything really. It's kind of like with the Fiocchi, I'm not even sure why they bother making one or the other. It's the same thing to me as far as I can tell. No advantage of this over the Premium or the Premium over this. Just they're both good. Good price points, So now I still like to get the American Eagle when I see it, but I buy the Premium because it's $19.99. So if this was $19.99, I would get it. Not that I like to buy cheap ammo. Honest with you, this is cheap ammo, but it's going to cost you a lot more. Now, I want to talk about cheap ammo real quick before I get into the last couple of brands here and talk about the Remington. Monarch. I used to buy that in the 200 round boxes. I loved it because I could I could spend like $20 back then and get 200 rounds and go to the range. You know, the range wasn't as expensive as it is now. $20 to shoot 200, fire off 200 rounds. It's a little bit dirty. The steel casing, 200 round boxes, both 380 and 9mm. Funny thing is I had a box of 200 round Monarch steel cased ammo, and I kept it in the closet. It wasn't even in a box like this, just in the cardboard box, sitting in a closet for 12 years. I took it out one day, shot 150 rounds through my P238. Not one single problem with that ammo. Not one single ejection problem, nothing. It was, and I've never had any problem with the Monarch ammo, though it's the cheapest. I mean, it's considered a cheap ammo, but you know, to be honest with you, I've had a lot more issues with the MagTech than I have with the Monarch. Go figure. MagTech is even, the MagTech ammo is actually a little bit, $1 more than the Blazer brass. It's only, I think it's like $8.50. I mean, $18.50, and this is $19.99, or it's $18.99. This is $19.99 for the brass. It's not even cheap ammo anymore. So, I don't think MagTech's necessarily bad ammo. I just don't think it's as consistent as the rest of these, with the exception of this garbage. So having said that, now what you don't see here are the Remington and Winchester ammos that I normally will buy, because they're always readily available and they're good prices. This generic looking box of Remington 9mm ammo, it's 115 grade. This is law enforcement and military and law enforcement training ammo, it says. Normally I'll buy the white and green box Remington UMC ammo. It's only $19.99 a box, 50 rounds. This one's $21.99 a box. I'm not really sure why they're priced differently. You know, they're very similar ammo. Why this is priced that much more, I'm not really sure. It comes in a really generic box. But let me tell you something. I like the Remington. The Remington makes great ammo. There's nothing wrong with the Remington UMC ammo. That's a good ammo, and you get it for a good price. You know, relatively a good price. This is very similar to that. And the thing is that I use this for my level 3 security officer, you know, my shooting qualifier. This performs so well. I can't really articulate it. I can't really nail down what it is about this ammo. But there's just something, just a very small something, a little X factor kind of with this ammo compared to the UMC. I like the UMC, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't diminish anything. And we're talking about a very slight little thing I noticed. Just something just kind of barely noticed, but a little bit special for some reason. It kind of has a little X factor. So this ain't an expensive ammo, but it's very good. So, you know, and don't let the generic cardboard box fool you, you know. This is just as good quality, you know, in my opinion, as the other ones, my experience. I've shot about 200 rounds of this one. I've shot 1,000 rounds of the UMC. Now, the Winchester, I don't have a Winchester box here. I don't really need to. Why? Because I have 2 Winchester boxes right here. This Herters and this Browning are both made by Winchester. In fact, these are very similar. Though this is 115 grain, that's 124 grain. Similar prices. You know, you're gonna pay about $40 for that. Same thing as buying a box of this, about $20 a box. You know, 100 rounds, 150 rounds. $60, $40, same price. Browning is a high-end brand. I mean, $1,200, $1,500 pistol, Browning pistols, very prestigious kind of brand, I suppose. I don't think this ammo is particularly anything to write home about, but it's good ammo. It's fairly clean. It's very consistent, reliable ammo, and it's a good price point. 150 rounds for $60. It's not bad. The Herters is also a good ammo. Now the Herters is kind of a peculiar brand. It's made specifically, I think, for just the Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops store, I think, and that's a good ammo. Now, Winchester makes a box that's almost identical to this one, but it's all white. Normally, the box I'll buy is about this size. It's just a white box with Winchester and stuff in red letters and 9mm. It's about $21.99 a box. The 380 ammo is about $28, whereas the Remington 380 ammo of the UMC is $1 less or $2 less, 26 or 27 bucks. So, the Winchester and the Remington 380 ammo is one of the more affordable 380s, not the most affordable, but very good 380 ammo for practice. It's great. But Winchester makes a 100-round box like this one, same size box and stuff, but it's just a white box with the red letters like the normal 50-round boxes I would buy. And it's equally good. The Winchester is great ammo, really good ammo. Now, I know Remington and Winchester are kind of like Levi's, like Levi jeans. They're a big name. They've been around for a long time. One of the originals and all that. But you don't really think of them as like a wow kind of ammo compared to Federal is better than I don't know. Some people have that impression, but I'll tell you the truth. Winchester makes really good ammo. I haven't had any issues with Winchester ammo. Remington makes really good ammo. They don't have to be such really top-notch, high-quality, maybe they're not quite as good as this. Maybe they are. I don't have any way to necessarily gauge that. I just know what kind of like or I gravitate to over time. Round after round, I kind of start liking something and wanting to buy it more, or sometimes just buy stuff because it's more readily available. So Winchester, Remington, widely available, good prices, really good ammo. So what's the deal? What ammo should you buy? Which one would I recommend? I'm not going to recommend any one. They're all good. If it doesn't matter to you, spend another $7, $8, $9 for, a box of ammo. I don't think you're going to get such better ammo that you're really going to feel like, yeah, it's worth the $9 or $10 extra. In my opinion, okay. Especially the Sig ammo. Sig, I really don't. It's good. Sig is high quality stuff. Definitely, right? I just think it's pricey. It's overpriced. It's kind of disappointing because they're a big company and they're a popular company, and I'd like to use their ammo more, but I just don't want to spend extra bucks to do it. Nothing to write home about, particularly in my opinion. So when it comes down to when you decide to buy ammo, really, it's good to be consistent and kind of, find yourself gravitating to a certain kind of ammo. Get used to that. Get some consistency with it. Now, let me revisit a little bit one topic that I think is important. We're talking about accuracy with this cruddy ammo right here. Why is accuracy important with training ammo? Accuracy is very important with training ammo because here's the deal. Once you get fairly proficient, and I'm not a marksman, I'm not an expert, or anything. But once you get to a certain level of proficiency in your shooting, you start making little tiny adjustments, right? And you see your shot kind of goes off a little bit, and then you kind of make adjustment, and then you start building your muscle memory. And once you kind of get that muscle memory going, and every now and then you got to tweak it, So if you're using ammo that's not accurate, and it's just kind of going every which way every time, you don't really have a good reference. So you're not going to have a good consistent muscle memory, because you might make an adjustment, but really it's the ammo that's going off and not you. So yeah, it's important. Now, I was telling you about the feedback that the Glock gives. Glock's really great for that, because it gives you a physical, audible kind of feedback. You really feel everything that the Glock's doing when you're practicing. If your first shot or two is a little bit off, the feedback it gives you makes it a little bit easier to make adjustments. It's a great pistol for practice, in my opinion. It's almost like a full-size pistol because it's got the handle. It's really fantastic pistol. It's good for practice and good for evaluating different brands of ammo. So that's another factor here, is each of these pistols are kind of idiosyncratic. It's kind of, they've got their own little personality. They kind of react to nuances of different ammos differently, You kind of get a certain feedback from a certain ammo on this pistol than you would in that one, Now, the Glock 42, my favorite 380 pistol. I love the Glock 42. Yes, I wish that it could hold a little bit more rounds, but it is so much fun to shoot that Glock 42, and it's such a well-made little pistol. I don't have it here with me, but really great pistol. Now, the thing about it is that whenever you're evaluating ammo, you want to kind of use your most comfortable pistol, but you also want to try different ones and see what you notice. So I would say go out and get a few boxes and try some of these out. They're all good. I can't say there's any strong advantage for any of them necessarily. Like I said, even this Ozkursan, it's a little bit pricier. I'm not going to say, buy the Ozkursan over the Remington. It's worth that much, the few extra bucks. But whatever I've heard about it, this is proven wrong so far. Yeah, it does have a little bit more kick. It's smokier, it's more sparkier, but it's good ammo. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you don't. I'd like you to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think, if you agree, or if you disagree, give me a good reason why. Edify me. I'm always willing to listen to intelligent, thought-out feedback. So anyway, you can't go wrong with any of these brands. They're all very good. I would say whatever criticisms people have, take it with a grain of salt. If you can afford the good stuff, then good for you. It makes no difference. If you try to save money the most you can, you will not go wrong with the Remington or the Winchester ammo, and you can get pretty good deals on that. Or even this Federal, it's not the cheapest, but it's a good ammo. Blazer's a good ammo too, So that's what I have to say about it. I hope that this will help you out in your purchase decision, and also maybe ease your concerns about certain things, give you a little bit more to think about when you're evaluating things. So anyway, I hope that you will subscribe, check back later, see more uploads. If you got a request for me to review a certain kind of a certain product or something, let me know. And if it's within my means, I will do that. If you leave me a comment, I'll try to get back to you. So, hope you'll subscribe and help me grow this channel. And thank you for watching.